Loves to be free is the realization of my dream, to live traveling the world on a motorbike. So many people live within unhappy circumstances and yet will not take the initiative to change their situation because they are conditioned to a life of security, conformity, and conservatism, all of which may appear to give one peace of mind. But in reality, nothing is more damaging to the adventure spirit within a man than a secure future. The very basic core of a man's living spirit is his passion for adventure. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experience. And hence there is not greater joy than to have an endlessly changing horizon. For each day to have a new and different sun. I'm a young man of 23 from Orgiano, a small town in the province of Vicenza, in the northern Italy. This is one of my dreams, starting an adventure without a destination, willing to lose myself to find freedom, discovering the world alone with my black camel, sleeping where it happens, following the wind of my unconsciousness, with a future tense and an adventure for living. In addition to the passion for motorcycles, I love to lose myself to discover roads, trails, landscapes, people, lifestyles, and lessons to learn. The monotony tires me, and I always want to try new experiences and emotions. When I travel, I feel free and alive. The passion for the motorcycles and the curiosity to always take new ways pushed me at 18 years old to my first trip. I still didn't know what it really means to travel, and I didn't know that this adventure would change me. I had earned the first 300 euros at a school stage, so I decided to spend everything on fuel. I dreamed of going away for as long as possible, and that was the first opportunity that I had. I left home alone at night and without saying anything to anyone. Summary of the story: I went through Slovenia, Hungary, Slovakia and Austria. In a week, sleeping in the benches. There have really been a lot of things, from the helmet stolen to the bike accident. But that trip really changed me, and I discovered the true meaning of traveling. Some people that I meet with a different mentality surprise me, touch me and inspire me a lot. Especially Asterix. He has been traveling by bicycle through Europe without money since 2008 to meet people and break prejudice among the different countries, through a book that he will write at the end of his trip. I was very impressed by this man, and I will remember that encounter. In fact, when I returned home, I realized that my dream was to travel around the world. There is very little clarity and there is nothing definitive about this project. Labeling it in something concrete and established would mean reducing my possibilities and automatically creating limits that I don't want. How to live to try to meet the expectation of the others is a condition of unhappiness, and I want to be happy. This is my motivation and my idea of freedom. Loneliness doesn't scare me, and for me it's synonymous with freedom. Surely sometimes it's not easy. But who say freedom is easy to get? There are many advantages, but also many disadvantages, especially when there are problems, because that are a constant. I'm convinced that if you really want something, you have to do it alone, and not wait for anyone. Otherwise, you risk spending all your life waiting. The initial plan was to schedule it for the end of the March of 2020. The first season was going to be for Asia, reaching Australia, where I wanted to work to finance the rest of the trip. After a full year of work, study and preparation, I was able to obtain all the necessary documents and to repair the bike on time. Everything was perfect and nothing could stop me. Except for a world pandemic that caused the closure of all the borders. With many difficulties, I didn't give up, and I waited at the same time that I was still working. I had the opportunity to discover my country my way, with a tour through Italy, and gained experience by organizing a few weekends with friends from all over my country. On May 12, 2021, I could leave. I didn't know if it was just a small trip or if it was finally what I was dreaming of. I traveled a little around Italy, crossed France fastly, and in Spain I traveled a lot in the Pyrenees. I crossed the north and I went down to Andalusia, where I spent a month as a hermit until I found the opportunity to work and live in a hostel in Sevilla. The bike, the equipment and the entire trip are self-financed. It was my choice to not ask anyone for help yet. But for the next season, I will look for sponsors that help me keep everything going. Till now, I supported myself by working as a bricklayer, mechanical, handyman, receptionist, and every job I could find on my way. If you want to help me with this project, you can do it. Look at the video description. My dream is to be able to support the project with YouTube, taking you with me on my adventure. Some might wonder why I share my experience on social networks. And photography and video making are my passions. And I love the fact that I'm able to relive my memories, keep my friends and family informed, and for you to travel with me. We share the problems and joys. You help me morally, and why not? You advise me. Thanks to this, I met so many people with the same passion, and I made many important friends. When a person shares his experience, especially when most of the people believe that it's almost impossible, it becomes a living testimony that it's feasible. And it can also turn me in an inspiration for other dreams, not necessarily related to traveling. Now I'm planning for the second season. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, share, give it a like and leave me a comment. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where you will have progress in real time. And if you want to contribute to the project, look at the description below.